In the previous episode, I have explained step by step how can you buy a resale HDB flat without using an agent. In this video, I'm going to share with you what are the things that you need to watch out for to ensure that you don't get scammed. But before we go any further, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like free stuff, check out the link in the description box below as we are giving away a $30 furniture voucher. Initially, when the pandemic started, some people predicted that the housing market in Singapore would be sluggish or even crash. But apparently not. Price surprisingly has been rising steadily for resale flats due to the longer waiting time for BTO and new development. So, if you want to save money, one of the options you can consider is to buy a resale flat without using an agent. But first thing first, if you are planning to buy a private resale condo, then I think you should engage an agent. Why? Because the commission will be paid by the seller anyway. But if you are planning to buy a resale HDB flat, you can actually save some money by not using an agent. Because for HDB, typically the buyer will need to pay 1% commission to the buyer's agent. So, for example, if you are buying a 500,000 resale flat, then the agent commission is 1% plus GST, which is around $5,350, which you have to pay by cash. You cannot use CPF or house loan to pay for the agent. If you want to know the step-by-step details on how to purchase a resale HDB flat without an agent, please click the link in the top right or in the description box below to watch my previous video about it. Or you can also go to the HDB website, which obviously has more information there. HDB even has a Zoom seminar that you can join for like $12, which I highly recommend. But in this video, I really want to focus on what are the pitfalls that you need to watch out for when you are buying a resale HDB flat without an agent. This is important because you will be alone, while the seller typically will be represented by an agent. Because the seller's agent's job is to act in the interest of the seller, then you'll have to educate yourself to avoid getting shortchanged. The first thing is, during the viewing, make sure to check whether there's any renovation that violates HDB rules, because those violations will need to get fixed before the sales can proceed, which will leave you in a tough position if you already paid for the 1,000 OTP. Example of such violation includes removal of the bomb shelter door, permanently covering the pipes, etc. I'll leave a link in the description box below so you can read through what are those that are not allowed. If you do find any violation, unless the seller is willing to reinstate the flat, the best is just to look for other options. Next thing is, watch out for structural issues and potential water damage. During the viewing, don't get fixated on the decor alone. Make sure that you pay attention whether there are any potential structural issues such as cracks on the wall and ceiling. You should also watch out for potential water damages. Pay attention to the kitchen and bathroom cabinet. Are there any cabinet doors that are swollen? If yes, that's a sign of water damage, which can lead to termites, which will be very expensive and extremely difficult to get rid of. Personally, I have stayed in a rental place that has termite problems and they ate and damaged many of my furniture, and the owner couldn't get rid of them and I had to move out. Another area that you need to watch out for the water damage is the ceiling. If you see any bubbling or uneven surface on the ceiling, or it looks like the seller just painted over it, that's also an indication that you should check whether there's any pipe leakage. If you feel that you need a professional opinion, my suggestion is to engage with an experienced contractor that has been certified by HDB to check the place. Next thing, let's talk about COV or cash over valuation. Before agreeing to a price, make sure that you check the historical transaction of the flats in that area. This is important because if HDB values your house lower than the agreed price, then you'll have to pay the COV out of pocket. You can't use a mortgage loan or HDB loan or CPF to pay for it either. If you already paid for the 1K OTP, then you realize that the COV is way too high, then most likely you will lose the OTP amount. I've read cases where the seller's agent promised that the valuation price will be exactly the same as the listed price, but you really can't take anyone's word for it. HDB has its own method in determining the value of a flat, and the seller or their agent is not able to control it. That's why it's very important for you to perform the due diligence in checking the past transacted price. Let me highlight again, past transacted price. Don't rely on the asking price. Another thing that you can try to do is negotiate for a lower OTP amount, because HDB actually only stipulated for the amount to range between $1 to $1,000, because once given, the seller does not have a legal obligation to return the OTP money to you. Next one is ask for ownership of proof. Before transferring the $1,000 to get OTP, you should ask for written proof to ensure that the seller is indeed the rightful owner of that flat. It can be a printout from the seller's MyIRES page, previous S&P documents, etc. But just make sure you have a copy of the written proof. It has to be written. You can't just take their word for it. Or if in rare cases where the seller is not the owner, but they do have the right to sell, just make sure you ask for a copy of a valid written legal document as well. Don't forget also to ask what is the resale submission timeline. So, HDB has stipulated how much time buyer has to exercise the OTP, which is 21 days, but the watch out is, surprisingly, there are no guidelines on the resale submission timeline. HDB only ruled that the seller and the buyer must log in their request within 7 days of each other, but there is no rule when it should be done after OTP has been exercised. I've seen a property ad that explicitly asks for 60-day submission timeline on top of the 3 months extension after completion, which means that you will only get the keys around 7 months later after you have exercised your OTP. So, if you are expecting a normal completion time, make sure that you have it in written. Next one is check for any home improvement plan. You should ask if there is any confirmed home improvement plan and whether it has been paid by the seller or not. If the seller says they don't remember, ask them to double check and ask for written proof. It's pretty impossible to not remember a confirmed home improvement plan though, because the seller needs to pick materials with HDB. If they do have a confirmed home improvement plan, make sure the owner already paid for it, because if not, you will get stuck with the bill as the new owner. Next thing that you have to discuss is the extension arrangement. Due to limited housing supply, most sellers nowadays requires a 3 months extension after the sale has been completed. If you are not okay with an extension, then you need to ask the seller's agent first, even before coming for a viewing, whether the seller needs an extension or not. If you agreed for the seller to extend, then what needs to be agreed in advance is how much is the rental fee that the seller should pay to you as the new owner, because this is not regulated by HDB. Some sellers might even expect that they can stay there for free. If you expect them to pay, then check what is the latest rental fee for the building for guidance. Note that during those 3 months period, as the new owner of the flat, you will need to pay 10% property tax because it will be considered as a rental even if it's only for a short time. So you might want to consider that as well when negotiating for the extension fee. The next one is have a checklist. In one of the forums, I've read about a seller who dismantled all of the air conditioners before they moved out. The new owner was so shocked to see the gaping holes on the walls, as they were expecting the aircon to still be there. To avoid such things, before even paying for the OTP, you should ask for the seller's agent to provide a checklist of what items will be included with the house. Generally, anything that is fixed to the wall or to the ceiling should stay there. But just to be safe, make sure that you have a checklist in writing and has been signed by the owner. If you are not sure whether you can buy a resale HDB flat safely without an agent but still want to save money, what you can do is do the viewings yourself, and then after you have selected the unit that you want to purchase, engage a reputable agent to provide consultation, help with negotiation with the seller's agent, and helping out with the documentation. For such a hybrid approach, they typically charge less, around 0.5%, which is still saving some money versus engaging a full-blown buyer's agent from the start. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and check out our other videos to get more tips on how you can save money and also to get extra cash on the site. I'll see you in the next video.